Hey, YouTube. Well, the people are talking about one of the people that I admire, Andrew Gillum. Now, they identify him as their former gubernatorial candidate. So he ran for governor. He's also mayor in the city of Miami. He's had a great political career, considering he's still a relatively young man. Maybe he's about 40 years old. Anyway, so I think I heard about the story yesterday. But it wasn't from a reputable source, so I didn't really pursue it. But it looks like this really happened. Andrew Gillum, who is also a commentator on either MSNBC or CNN, I'm not sure which one, but I know I've seen him a lot. They call on him for commentary about various political issues in with the Democrats. He's great at that. His future might have been as a regular anchorman. Anyway, so Andrew Gillum was called in a hotel in Miami. It said an older Latin gentleman. I don't know why we have to know the races about everybody, but he's black. Andrew's black. There was an older white guy. I don't know how they're defining older than him. Certainly older than the escort, who was the third person found in the room. Now, apparently this escort, this white escort, again, they have to identify what color people are. The white escort and these two guys. Now, apparently the white guy OD'd on crystal meth. Now, this concept of ODing is a new thing for me. This story is interesting to me. People sometimes say, why y'all always talking about the black man, putting the black man down? No, that's not the issue. I am black. My audience is predominantly black. This is a gay issue, which is I'm also fall up under that umbrella. And I lived most of my adult life as I wouldn't say most now. I would say I lived 17 years as a meth addict. So the story was interesting to me on various levels. Right? But these people, all these stories are popping up. They had that guy in L.A., that donor. Ed, what's his name? Ed somebody. Who 3 people died in his house, apparently from OD and from meth. All the years that I dealt meth and used meth, I never saw all these ODs. Now, I know that sometimes when you're walking around the streets of San Francisco, you will see people who have done way too much meth. They're either trying to climb up a tree or taking their clothes off or wildly dressed in half women's clothes, half men's clothes, running down the middle of the street. All those people, I guess, would be considered ODs. They've done way too much meth. But ODing is not like with heroin users where people OD and die. They come close to death. It's a different kind of thing. They've just done too much, right? But the case in L.A., that guy, a couple of people died in his house. So I suspect this is because of the kind of cut they're using with meth now. I don't believe they were using the same stuff when I was active 20 years ago. Anyway, these 3 guys were in a hotel. Okay, first of all, these 3 men, one is suspected homosexual or bisexual, which would be Gillum. They've always suspected him that he could possibly be bisexual. I don't know why. I'm not a local person in Miami. The escort was certainly gay. Although he didn't necessarily have to be gay, but he's selling himself as gay. He's gay for pay. We only know that much. More than likely he is gay, but some escorts are not gay. They just do it for money. Right? And I don't know who the other guy is. Maybe the story will get legs and they'll go investigating all these people. But the end result was the boy OD'd. When the cops came, I don't know why Gillum didn't, since he has a political figure, didn't leave the room. But they say that he was so drunk. This is what they say. He was so drunk that he didn't have the wherewithal to leave the room. Or maybe he felt like it would be wrong to leave this other guy with him, with this body. Or both of them leave. It could get much messier if they tried to cover it up, who was in the room and so forth. And they anyway were discovered. I don't know why he was still there. But apparently when the cops came, he was throwing up in the toilet. And so they found 3 bags of crystal meth in the room. There are 3 people, 3 bags of meth. Now these politicians, if they have any hope of ever pursuing a career in politics, certainly, but in a lot of careers, just as an attorney or something, they don't want on their record that they were using crystal meth. So he's made in his short statement, and I don't have the statement here with me, that he has never used crystal meth. That's what they all say, shall we say. But there were 3 bags and 3 men. One of them OD'd. Maybe the guy got so high that they didn't know what else to do, so they called the cops, not understanding that he wasn't dying. But he's probably acting pretty strange. I've seen people who've done too much meth, and it can get very bizarre in the room. Gillum says he's going to rehab for alcoholism. He said his alcoholism got out of control after his gubernatorial run. That's caca. He ain't become an alcoholic since last year. If you just can't be alcoholic since last year, you wouldn't be at the state where you need to go into rehab already. So he drinks. He admits to that. Because everybody drinks. I mean, most people drink. People in politics, they still allowed to drink. So he said, my drink got out of hand, so I'm going to rehab. The rehab story is a common one we hear when these celebrities get busted. They're always going to rehab. Right? Now, here's the thing that people need to understand. Him saying he's going to rehab for alcoholism is no different than him going to rehab for crystal meth addiction. Because in most 12-step meetings, people raise their hand, either I'm an alcoholic, or these days, it's either, most of the time, it's I'm an alcoholic and addict. I'm an alcoholic and addict. I'm an alcoholic and addict. Then one would say, I'm an addict. It's just a drug of choice. That's all it is. Drug of choice. So him being treated for crystal meth is no different than him being treated for alcoholism. And most of the times, you're in the same room. Same meetings, same programs. Believe me, I've been in several programs. There are addicts in there, people in there for opiates, right next to people who were there for meth, right next to people there who was on crack, and right there with people on alcohol. Most of the times, if you're drinking heavily, then you'll do other drugs as well in these modern times. So that doesn't surprise me. Just the verbiage is, I'm alcoholic. Society can deal with that much easier than it can deal with meth. Is something they don't understand. And meth is a sexual drug, which would explain the escort. There's always a possibility that they were all drinking. They picked this guy. They ordered up a rental boy, whatever, and the rent boy had drugs with them, and they tried it. And, I doubt that. I think they were all 3 doing drugs. That'll probably never be announced. It's neither here nor there. It's just a drug of choice. That's the drug he chooses. So, Andrew Gillum, I liked him. I liked him because I mostly knew him from his commentary on I'm pretty sure it's CNN, but I don't want to be locked into that. Pretty sure it's CNN. People are bisexual. You guys have to accept that. This world's got to grow up. We have grown up quite a bit. I mean, the gay movement has moved pretty quickly in these last 20 years. But we got to grow up some more and recognize that people are bisexual. So if people are bisexual, even though they're married, even though they have kids, whatever, there's still that other half of them that is not being fulfilled. It does not surprise me that they find those thrills outside of the house. Obviously, the wife does not have the equipment to satisfy that part of that person. Sure, I believe people can be faithful. Bi means one or the other, right? I can be with a woman or I can be with a man. I believe that people can be faithful in their relationships, but as marriages go on, time goes on, travel, those things. More than likely, at some point, the person is going to experience sex with men, which would not be his wife. So this is just a sad story. I hate to say this, man. I hope his career is not completely ended. So I don't expect him to say anything about being on crystal meth, but like the police said, 3 men, 3 bags of meth, 1 OD. Right? Now, I'm to tell one thing. Now, there are men, y'all know I used to hoe way back in the 70s for a season. So there are people who do not become crystal meth addicts. There are people, tricks mostly, pick up guys, boys, whatever, and have crystal meth sex with them. And then most of the guys, the hustlers certainly, become addicts. People with careers and things like that, somehow or other, many of them are able to just do it now and again. Until, of course, it gets out of hand. But if you got to be somewhere, you can't really be on meth and be the mayor. It's kind of a full-time job, I would think. So maybe this guy goes out of town and does a little of this, a little of that, and he just bumped into the situation where this kid has done too much, or this guy's done too much. Anyway, that's the story. Andrew Gillum. He said he's going to be with his family for the next few weeks. He's relinquishing any kind of official office that he has. I'm not even sure that he has an official office, but he's probably working for the Democrats, and he's saying he's stepping down from that. But does that mean he's in rehab now and he wants to be with his family after rehab? Because rehab shouldn't be this 21, some of these programs, 21 days, that's just a detox. That's all it is. It serves no other purpose but to detox, get you off dope. Right? If you're serious about being in a program, it'd be longer than that. But he caught with his drawers down. Sex is a strong thing, people. I mean, it's a very, very strong thing. Gillum says his father was an alcoholic. He knows how horrible it can be, so he's going to stop. Well, were you going to stop before the police came to the door? Of course it's a bad thing. Of course it's going to complicate your life. And now the whole family is embarrassed. I don't think it makes this man the devil because he wanted to have sex if he's bisexual, especially if he's a suppressed homosexual. Because crystal meth, if it does nothing else, it makes you instantly gay. I'm not being funny. I'm just telling you the truth. Take crystal meth, 3 seconds later, you're gay. So remember that guy, what was the guy, Ted Haggard? Remember that big mega preacher who was caught with the escort having crystal meth sex? You know, sex is a strong drive. And for some people, it takes the meth in order for them to be loose enough to actually pursue sex. I mean, wild sex. There were 3, not 2. Enough said. So we're hoping the best for Andrew Gillum. He seems like a great guy. I've always liked his commentary. He's an intelligent man. And I saw him having a big future in the Democratic Party. Let's hope that still can happen. These times are much different than the old times. It's not like where it used to be the word GAY was the death sentence. You did something gay. Oh, my God. Think about the children and all that stuff. Some of that has subsided. But certainly he would be a great commentator or newscaster, in my opinion. Whatever, we'll see. He's still a relatively young man. He looks about 40. We'll see. But good luck in program, Andrew. Andrew, it doesn't matter if you're in there smoking crack, shooting meth, drinking. It's all the same place. You all go to the same place. All right, people. I'm sorry to be the what's that word? Harbinger, a bearer of bad news. Whatever. News is news. You got to report on what's going on, and this is what's going on today.